Alright. Invincible power ranking tier list.
Oh man.
Before I get started in this, can I rename these? Alright. This is going to be Solo's the verse, I guess. Solo's verse. Right. So they're so strong they can just like by themselves kill everybody when as the name implies, they solo. Like they don't need help. That everyone else is below them. Let's change this to might need some help, right? Might need some help. Um Actually no, let's see. This might need some help. Might need some help. This one is if they're lucky. If they're lucky. And then what is this one? As long as it's one-on-one. As long as it's one-on-one. And then gets stomped, I guess. No. Last more than 30 seconds. Gets stomped. Literally bites the curbs. Bite. Ugh, bites the curb. Let's do white for the curb. Yeah, I think this is okay. Alright, so if they're lucky, I think he could beat pretty much everyone. I think he might need some help. Because here's the thing. I know the adrenaline thing was like debunked, but my headcanon is that he has adrenaline and that's what makes him so much stronger. That's the one bad thing about Invincible. The power scaling is so inconsistent, it makes this really hard. But I'm gonna go off my headcanon. I think the reason he's if they're lucky is because of that adrenaline, and a lot of the times his fights are really inconsistent. Like this dude was slowing him down, makes no sense. This dude bites the curb. I know how the future is with the comics, so once it gets to that point, he solos, I feel like. But right now, if they're lucky, I think if he got help with him, I think he could do it. I think they could potentially beat everybody. She solos, right? Amber, I think she can last longer than him, honestly, just because she would be smart enough to just get out of the way. He would go in there thinking he can do something. Is this... This is what that... Yeah, Red Rush's wife. If he's alive in this, she lasts more than 30 seconds, just because he's gonna get her out of there. What? I'm sorry. I think he... I don't think he could beat everybody as long as it's one-on-one. Hold on. I'm actually going to make a special tier now. Add a row below. If you give them a power-up. If you give them crack. If you give them crack. Right, so you give them some type of super serum, something that makes them stronger, better. I feel like he could, just because he's the fastest person here. Speed is a huge thing. If you can speed blitz someone, especially if you're fighting an entire verse of superheroes, if you're strong enough to be able to one-tap them and you're fast enough to just do it to multiple at a time, yeah, like that's why I'm putting him here. I feel like he could too. He already has a lot of resources. He's definitely smart. I think you give him a little extra something something, he could make it work. I mean, I don't think he could solo, right? He can't just go even with stuff, right? Like these people can't solo even if you give them some extra benefit. But I think they could do pretty good if you give them some extra benefit as long as they play it smart. He might be lower than him actually, just because he actually uses his brain. This guy can teleport, right? I think lasts more than 30. I think he bites the curb. She could solo, especially if you get rid of her inhibitor and let her manipulate biological matter. Yeah, she solos. Honestly, she could solo even without getting rid of the inhibitor if she would just use her power smarter and stop making walls and boxes all the time. Like, do some more advanced stuff. You can make literally anything, and you choose to just make pink walls and bubbles. This dude, you've seen the memes, he solos. I'm sorry, but he bites the curb. He's too dumb. He's just too dumb. He's pretty good. I don't know if he could win as long as it's one-on-one. Maybe if you gave him a little extra something. Because he's like on Mark's level, right? But like Mark becomes even stronger. So maybe if you gave him some extra. Last more than 30 seconds. Yeah, I think this fits. I think he actually does better. Stop. Who is this? I don't know who this is. I guess they bite the curb. Robot. If he can fight them one-on-one, he's so smart. I feel like he could find a way. He could develop a weakness for them. I mean, we already see some Viltrumite weaknesses, right? He could definitely exploit that, and as long as he doesn't get overwhelmed, I think he could do it. Stop interrupting me! Rexplode. I would say last more than 30, but just because that one final like throwdown where he killed a Viltrumite, I didn't know he could move like that. I didn't know his explosions were that powerful. I really don't think they should be. That's again the power scaling doesn't make any sense, but if he can do that, why doesn't he just touch the Viltrumites and just make them explode, right? Like if you gave him some extra crack, I feel like he could do something just because of that. Like he could just have the touch of death. Shrink Ray. I would say the Ant-Man treatment could work, right? She could be like Ant-Man, but we saw her do that and she almost died. I feel like she could last more than 30 seconds. I think she could last a good bit. Bites the curb, bites the curb, bites the curb. Actually, I want you to be the first one out. You just get on my nerves. Cecil, or honestly, if it's one-on-one, he has all of his resources and everything, I think he could find a way to beat everybody, right? If it's just him, though, without the resources, I think he lasts a decent long time, but one-on-one, I feel like he could make it work. Again, he kind of has the same issue, right, as Cecil. If it's just him, it's not really gonna work, but with all the extra resources they have, probably could make it work. I think he could last a while. I think honestly he would outlast Amber. Maybe not though, because he might. Nah, he would definitely outlast Amber. I feel like Alan. If you give him some crack, shut up. Give him some crack. Yeah, he probably could. He probably could. Uh, I know she ain't lasting more than 30, but we'll put her in there anyway. Supposed to be a joke with Alan, by the way. Bites the curb. This guy, okay, I thought this guy was weak, but apparently not. So honestly, I was gonna say bites the curb, but yeah, if you give him some crack though, he has potential. Sinclair, he's not on the level of like Robot, right? He has these guys, right? But that's all he really has going for him. I think he can last a while, but not that long. I think he can honestly last longer than anyone here though, because he's smart and he has an army that he. And the thing is as they kill more people, his army's just gonna grow bigger and bigger. So it's like one of those things where he'll be the ultimate slowdown, but that's about it. These guys, they would for sure need some help. For sure need some help. Like, a lot of it. Like, I think they last more than 30 though. Wait, is this okay? So this is like the first. Okay, so these are like the upgraded ones. If you gave them some crack and it was one-on-one, they could probably make it happen. This guy bites the curb. He's a little bit better than these people though. I think he's. Oh, I need to change this. Okay, so he's least likely, right? So he's the best out of it. So this guy, I think he's worse than her. I won't even lie. Actually, she survived when Viltrumites were actually invading. She actually might have a really solid chance. I feel like he would do better than he would. Yeah, I feel like that works. The Sequids, I think that's what they're called. They might need some help, or maybe if they're lucky. I think if they're lucky, they can do it, right? Because they've almost taken over Earth before. They've they can't take over Mars because of the Martians, but if they get lucky, I feel like they could. I feel it because they're kind of like the Flood, or like uh, maybe that's not the best comparison, but you know they can take over an entire universe if they wanted to, if everything could line up like they need. This guy, last more than 30 seconds, but not by much. I feel like he's here. He bites the curb. He's just stupid. He's actually stupid. He's better than these people just because he has powers, but it's just stupid. What is this? This is his family, right? This guy's family. If they're with him, they're lasting more than 30 seconds. Otherwise, if they're just caught up in it, they're biting the curb, right? So I guess I'll put him here. This guy. If he was a little bit luckier, or just even a little smarter, not like so focused on revenge, he could have soloed with verse. I think if you gave these some extra oomph, maybe. Right, these are just some randoms, but not randoms. They were, what, no one's parents or something? If you made them, like, the best of the best Viltrumites, then they could, right? I feel like that goes for every Viltrumite, but I feel like he's already better than they were. So, I don't know. Conquest. I feel like he's also might need some help. Vanessa, I feel like might need some help. Thrag, solos. I think he's just below Adam. Adam Eve, I feel like she's stronger than he is if she would just not be stupid. I think he would need some help, right? The biggest reason, like, Thrag and Adam Eve are just roadblocks. That's like why he would have to get lucky, right? Like, he wouldn't have to really deal with her unless you force them to fight, right? Then he would have to get lucky. If he fights him, right, again, has to get lucky. I know eventually they fight and all that, but as of currently, have to get lucky. So it's just like one of those things, like, they can't really do anything against that. Maybe, I don't know who this is. I don't remember this person. I'm just gonna put them in last more than 30, I guess. They seem like they're okay. I think they're probably better than Shapeshift or Shapesmith. I remember seeing this little kid. He seemed like he knew what he was doing. Maybe. I don't know if he's that capable, though. I feel like, just because I remember him more than her, I feel like he would do better. This guy, he honestly bites the curb. He honestly bites it. I think he's better than them. I think he honestly bites the curb, but he's the best out of them. She could last a while, but I think she's still going to end up dying pretty quick. I think she can last longer than all of them. The problem is, right, so she can, like, morph to where she's intangible, right? I'm pretty sure it requires her to take, like, a pill, though, so it, like, only lasts for so long. But as long as she just swallows another pill before it goes out or whatever, just keeps her power active and just stays, you know, unintangible, she kind of is unkillable. The only reason she died in the first episode is because she, for whatever reason, just froze up and just let him spear his hand straight through her skull. You know, like, just don't do that, and you can potentially be the last one standing. I don't remember this guy at all. I honestly don't remember him. Yeah, these are all low fodder. Like, I remember them. They could be better than some of these people, but, like, I don't really care about these people. Don't know much about them. They're just gonna bite the curb. This guy, I think he lasts more than 30 seconds. This is just Aquaman, right? I think he bites the curb, but I think he's right. Oh, right here. Nah, because he's not a Viltrumite or anything. Yeah. Is this the underwater princess? I don't really remember. Bites the curb. Oh, this is Monster Girl. If you gave, actually, no joke, they haven't shown it yet, but there's a form she has that scares even Thrag, I think. So, if they're lucky, maybe, but I don't think they can, like, travel in space, so they could just wait out that form. So probably if you gave them a little extra. Yeah, I think if you gave them a little extra something, they could do it. This thing, if you gave it crack, I think also could do pretty good. I think that's fair. I feel like this thing's shown that it was more on par with a Viltrumite than he is, but I really don't know. I don't remember ever seeing him fight a Viltrumite. I don't know if they've shown him fight one yet, or if that'll even happen, but because he's basically a Viltrumite, right? But I feel like he would struggle with this thing. Yeah, so I feel like that's fair. Bites the curb, like they're on a whole different, like, dimension or something, right? Batman, the first one bites the curb, like, pretty hard. I think he does better than these guys. but at the end of the day, he's still dying. This guy, I think, because of the shadow dimension, has a better chance. I don't know if the shadow dimension's good enough to where if you like somehow, maybe if you can make that shadow dimension he has where he can just kind of like on command, like without having to touch anything, like just he looks at it and then just sends it there, he could, if you could just really power that thing up. I don't remember putting her here, but I feel like that makes sense. She seemed like she was pretty strong. Don't remember this guy. Don't remember this guy either. Yeah, he, I think, because he can go to hell, like, that's the only reason. These guys, if you gave them a little something extra, made them smarter, something, because they already are pretty formidable, just because they're like cockroaches. They just don't die. They just always have a backup clone or something. These people can time travel, so technically, if they're lucky, they could find a way. Bites the curb, bites the curb. If you gave him some crack, I think he can do it. Duplicate. She's better than her brother, but not by much. Actually, maybe that is a good bit. Well, no, because he hides a clone usually. He'll hide a clone somewhere. I don't know if she does that. I think she does too. I think they both do. I just don't like him. He's just too... I don't know. They both kind of suck, but I don't know. We'll just keep it like that. Feel like she was pretty solid. I feel like if you gave her some crack, maybe. Again, gave him some crack. I don't know if he's really better than they are. I feel like he was worse. Okay, this guy. He could solo. He is on par. He's on par. Like, a lot of people don't realize that because he went against Mark in, like, what was it, season 1 or 2? This guy is a universal, like, probably multiversal threat, borderline. And Mark just casually went against it. It's like a level 1 crook versus a 99 mafia boss. Like, that's that fight. That's what that was. This guy could solo. His only challenge is these two right here. I actually think, well, no, because the problem is I know what happens in the comics, but again, their power scaling so janky. I could see him winning against both of them, but he would have to get lucky. But I feel like he could solo, like, still. I feel like he has a really high chance. Was this just a robot? I guess it's better than most people, I don't know. Like, these are all fodder characters, I don't even care. Yeah, just all of them. An Elephant Man, right? Like, realistically, if they went straight for him, he's dead. But I feel like he could last a little bit. Just because I feel like he would, especially since he works with superheroes, he has to have some type of fail-safe, like, hiding room, something. Like, if he doesn't have some type of room to go into, like a bunker or something, he's just dumb. Especially after Nolan just comes up and is like, "Hey, let's have beers," and he is shaking in his boots. Like, I would have made a safe room after that. So I'm putting him there just because I have faith that he is not a complete idiot. You give this dude crack? Well, yeah, if you gave him crack, because he was actually pretty strong, but he got no diffed by Thrag, which just shows how strong Thrag is, but I still think if you gave him some crack, he could do pretty good. Bites the curb. Don't remember this dude. Bites the curb. This is Spider-Man, right? Just because I love Spider-Man, if you gave him crack. This is the invincible variant. I feel like you give them some crack. I think all the variants, really, if you gave them some crack, they'd probably do pretty good, right? Like, if you made them Thrag level, or if you somehow made them better than Thrag, they could. I don't really know all the variants that well, so I don't know like how they scale up to each other, but I think they do pretty alright regardless. There is a lot of variants, oh my god. This is my favorite variant. He's just so cocky about everything. There is so many variants. Curb, nah. I don't really remember this thing, but it looks like it could do pretty good. I might have to go through these later. I just don't feel like it. we didn't really see much from this. Like, Mark kind of no-diffed her. Maybe she's here. I feel like she's pretty good. She isn't Viltrumite level, but she's pretty close. Oh, well, these are those... Okay. You give these things crack. Because I think even he would struggle with this. Yeah, because, I mean, Thrag, I think no-diffed them. But he's just on a whole nother level. Along with Battle Beast. But if you powered these things up more than they already are, yeah, they're cooking. Bites the curb, bites the curb, bites the curb. What are you, a Viltrumite? I guess if you gave him crack. He looks like he would get mogged by this, honestly, just from the way he looks. Bites the curb. Bites the curb. Like, I don't remember these people. I'll have to sort through this. Are these all just randos? They are. Ooh, this is the, okay, this guy has that gun. If they're lucky, if they get an insane lineup, right? If they can get all of the most powerful people just in a straight line and just shoot a beam through them all, he no diffs, right? Like, that gun just pierces everything. Like, I think he needs the most luck, but if he has that luck, he can do it. Well, let's see. So, yeah, she's definitely, I think, the strongest in the verse, just because she can manipulate matter itself, like everything. Like, if she didn't have that limit on by messing with biological matter, she could turn Thrag into a mouse. Like, what's he gonna do, you know? Or she could just snap him out of existence. So if that inhibitor wasn't there, she no diffs everything. Even with the inhibitor though, she has a really solid chance of winning. She just doesn't realize her full potential. That's also bad writing, stuff like that. But you know, I think it's fair to put her there. These two, I know what happened, so for that reason, he's gonna be here. But I really feel like he could beat Thrag if I don't know exactly how it goes down or what happens, but I just really feel like he has it in him to do it. Like, I feel like he could, but I don't know. Mark, I know Mark's gonna eventually be on this level. I mean, you can see Debbie's here, so you know he's gonna get there eventually. But he just has more growth, more training, developing. If the adrenaline theory was confirmed to be canon and like real, he could be here. I feel like he could 100% be here with the adrenaline theory, especially knowing what happens later on in the series. But as of now, just if you got lucky. Same with all these. I feel like these make sense. They're only here because they time travel. So I feel like they could manipulate the events of things in their favor until eventually they, you know, win. They just, whatever it is that they need to do, they could find that timeline where it all lines up perfectly. So that's why they're here. Might need some help, right? Like, these all stand far above all the other Viltrumites. I don't really know so much about him, but I'm still gonna put him here because he seems to be like right under Thrag. Like, when it comes to their chain of command. So for that reason, I feel like he's fair to put here. Like, they've all shown how capable they are. They just they get no diffed by Thrag and honestly probably even Battle Beast. Like, so they would need some help. One-on-one, again, these are just really intelligent people, or they have resources or capabilities that I think could allow them, as long as they're not getting overwhelmed by multiple people, or they have like prep time. Actually, let me do that. As long as it's one-on-one slash prep time, I feel like they could do it. He might actually be up here too. I don't know about one-on-one. I don't think just as he is, but with prep time, which he already had prep time, he already had a lot of stuff developing. So, you know, in a sense, he kind of already could do that. Gave them crack. I feel like this is pretty fair. Yeah, I feel like this is pretty fair how it's set up. Lasts more than 30 seconds. If you gave her armor, like more capabilities, made them more on par with the Viltrumite, it still wouldn't be enough. But it could give them a shot. I just don't know how much that armor is capable of. If you could upgrade that armor to where it has more capabilities and is already on Viltrumite level, I think she has a chance, right? So maybe move her up. If you gave them some really good crack, they could be, I feel like they could be like right here. I guess these, like, yeah, these people seem like they would last longer than most other people. I just don't know by how much. I don't know if he really beats that. I mean, realistically, these people shouldn't even be on here. It should be all non-soups here, and then anybody that has any slight power goes here. Screw it. I don't feel like going through and reorganizing this, so this is just going to be the list. Like, if they're down here, they're either random, and I don't know enough about them, or don't remember them enough, or they're not important enough for other characters to save them, right? Well, I'm looking at these guys. He doesn't, but I think he probably would get saved, so he might last a while. Everyone else down here, though, really, I mean, the ones with powers, like, you could probably just move up here, and then it's just all the normal people, but some of these people, like Oliver, bro, like, yeah, I understand he's a Viltrumite level, but he's just stupid. He's just too dumb. He's gonna bite the curb. Like, he's gonna rush in. You've already seen it. He rushed in on Thrag. Not even Thrag, Conquest. And got obliterated. And then, doesn't he try to do the same thing to Thrag, too, anyway? Like, he's just stupid. And that's why he's here. He bites the curb because he's dumb. Other than that, you could put him in if you gave them crack. Potentially. Maybe. If he wasn't so dumb, he'd be top of last more than 30 seconds. But he's just too dumb. He just goes into danger, doesn't think, doesn't have a plan, knows that they're stronger than him, and just acts like he's gonna no-diff them anyway. So yeah, alright. That's my tier list. Invincible tier list. Let me know what you guys think. This is very sloppy. Very, like, I, it doesn't help that they're their own, like, the power scaling in this show on its own is just all over the place. But I feel like this is a pretty fair assessment, but I could be missing something, so I guess just let me know if, like, I forgot about something or overlooked a character or a detail. But I think this is a pretty fair ranking. So yeah, I guess I'll see you all in the next one.